Welcome to Eagle and Rue and the Bed Jacket project. So I decided this year for 3 of my most favorite people, I would make them each bed jackets. Now, the red one that you can see that I'm sewing on here is actually the one that has the least embroidery, and it's also the one that I finally figured out how to interline all the pieces. There are a few errors on this project, on this red one. And I also had decided to film this process. So none of the others you will be able to see the process, but this is the one that I was able to get all the footage for. Something that I really liked about this project is that the bed jacket design that I came up with was kind of on the fly. I didn't really have a pattern. Oh, on the sleeve that you can see here that has the really wide red on the end, that's actually folded over to create the edging for the cuff on this red one. All the others have either matching fabric cuffs or have white interlining cuffs. Anyway, so all of the bed jackets are 100% cotton, both the outside fabric and the interlining fabric. The red fabric here and the purple and the blue for the other 2 jackets are a broadcloth, and the interlining is a 100% cotton diapering fabric. And I got all of the fabric on sale through Fabric Mart online, and all of the fabric together was $15. I got everything with scraps, everything was on sale. That does not count shipping. I got 3 yards of each color, which worked out perfect for all of the jackets, and I did get 10 yards of the cotton diapering because it was a narrower fabric. On this red one, it has the least embroidery. It only has the 2 flowers on the one side, mostly because I ran out of time. Gifts need to be given next week, and I did have matching flowers on the other side designed, but I just didn't have time to get that done. And unfortunately, that happens sometimes. I'm an artsy person and I get overcommitted. Okay, so here you can see all the pieces. I'm taking all the pins out, and I'm going to lay each piece and cut off any of the extra not matching fabrics, either red or white. And I start assembling the pieces. So the first part that I work on is the sleeves because I need to put the gusset in. And I also want to make sure that my homemade bias tape fits on each of the seams, and you'll see here in a minute how that works. So one of the bed jackets has the 2 flowers on it. That's the red one. There is a blue jacket that has several wolf images on it. And then there's a purple jacket that has a calico cat in a Celtic design on it. Here is where the gusset is going to be pieced in. As you can see, the end of that sleeve has that fold over. Okay, so here's the gusset, and then I'm going to pull the piece of handmade bias tape out and pin that down. And look at me almost, oops, putting it on wrong, and I caught myself. Sometimes when we get working, we don't realize that we're making a mistake because we're thinking about something else. At least I am. Okay, so here you can see that I am pinning the gusseted sleeve to the garment. I've already done one side in this clip, and now I'm doing the other, and I'm stretching it all the way out to kind of, oh yeah, this is the one that's one long piece. So I was using scrap bias that I'd cut for the other jackets on this, and that's why none of the colors match, because I cut all of my bias out of the first 2 jacket fabrics and the interlining. So what I do is I pin from the shoulder all the way down to the end of the gusset on one side, and that's the side that goes into the machine first, so I'm not fighting the fabric. And then you're going to see that I'm going to go back to the shoulder and pin down the other side, but not all the way to the end of the gusset because I don't want to bind the machine and actually sew my sleeve openings together, which, by the way, I have done that, and I don't recommend doing that. It is a pain to rip it out and fix it. And I don't know about you, but seam ripping is the one thing about sewing that I detest the most. In this clip, you can see that I have sewn the bias down and now I am just hand folding it over. I haven't even ironed it. I'm just folding it over to cover that seam and pinning it securely. And I do this all the way around the armhole and then I go back and sew that down. I love the way this makes all of the seams finished. This red jacket is the only one that I did 99% of it on the machine. All the others I did all of this particular part right here that I'm going to put in the machine. I did it all by hand. So the other two jackets took me about 8 hours each to make, and this jacket took me 5 hours. So a significant difference. And I'm not counting the embroidery. The embroidery for the blue jacket was a good 6 hours by itself. The purple jacket with the cat on it, maybe 3 hours. And then this red one took me maybe 2 hours. Here you can see I am pinning on the white cotton diapering handmade bias tape, and I'm going to edge the entire red jacket, the bottom, the front, and the collar. Because it's a bed jacket, I wanted the person that is going to receive this to feel very comfortable along the edges. And that broadcloth, though it is a really nice material to embroider on and it makes a nice sturdy bed jacket, it's not exactly the softest to the touch. It's actually a little scratchy. So I wanted to make sure to have soft all the way around the edges of the jacket. In this clip, you can see I am hand stitching on the collar, and I'm using blue thread, and I got it all done and then I realized I probably should have done it in white, but at least the person who's receiving it is going to know it was done by hand. So this gift is very much a practical gift. I prefer gifts that are useful. So this is the bed jacket, the red one. It's got white snaps on it. I wanted to show you also the back side of the embroidery. I use a fabric glue to secure all the threads, even though everything's knotted down pretty good. I also play around with the button placement before I decide. On these images you can see the final construction. I put it up on the dress dummy so it was a little bit easier to see. I also like that this jacket can be done with front pleating like the blue and the purple one are done, and you can see how it's done on the inside with all of the interfacing and stuff, the bias binding on it. Or you can do it like the red one that does not have any pleating on it. You know, a bed jacket is something you wear sitting on the couch with a blanket over your lap or in bed when you're on your iPhone or your computer, and it should be something that keeps you warm and comfortable. So I thought it would be a perfect gift for my friends in this winter climb. Thank you for watching. Hope you learned something new.